The ICF Canoe Sprint World Championships are brought to you by the Province of Ontario, the Government of Canada, and Tourism Niagara.
And up next is race 68, semifinal 1 of the under-23 men's K4 1,000 meters.
Well, it's a great race here. We've got our Canadian boys in lane 6, but up at the top of your screen in lane 2 is the Mexico crew, and lane 3 is from the Republic of South Africa. France is in lane 4, Poland in 5. Our Canadian boys in 6, and lane 7 is India. Etienne Beauchesne from Trois-Rivières, Rob Clark from Mississauga, Sam Roworth from Toronto, and Philippe Duchesneau from Montreal. And here we can see them, Tom, getting ready for the start, approaching the start boots.
Yeah, you want to get into that boot. You don't want to hit it too hard because you don't want to chip your boat, which sometimes can happen. They'll get it into that boot, and they have to keep it as close to the top of that boot as they can. The officials will look through the clear plastic just to make sure everyone's in line and no one's trying to get a bit of a running start pushing through that boot. Focus on the Canadians at the bottom, near the bottom of your screen, in the red boat with the white tops. Next to them, the Polish crew, very fast as well. Almost the opposite color scheme of the Canadians, the white top and the red bottom. And the French crew, probably the favorites, in the blue boat in the middle of your screen.
And watch for the flashing paddles off the start. About 180 strokes a minute. Here we go.
And a very strong start for all these boats. You'll see them stay in a line for a while. They'll separate maybe at about the 100-meter mark. We'll start to see some differences. All these boats have a lot of torque and a lot of horsepower, so once they shoot off that line, it takes a while for them to settle into that rhythm. See, right now at the 100-meter mark, the Canadians still in the middle of that start. Soon they're going to start to lengthen out those strokes and try to find that solid race pace that they can keep for a whole 1,000 meters.
And watch for the leg movement in the Canadians and the synchronicity of their paddles. That's a brilliant move by the Canadians to stay in shape, stay in focus, use your big muscles in your back and your legs to power you through to the working stroke phase.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just like in the canoe, the paddle catches the water and you're trying to move the boat towards the paddle. So there's a huge leg component to kayaking that most people don't see because they're in the cockpit. But right now, look at the French crew. Those awesome paddles. You can really see how smooth and together they are. They have a very nice rhythm. Looks very relaxed, very controlled. They are the favorite. They had a 3:04 this morning in their heat, which is the fastest time out of this semifinal. And it shows right now they have about a half boat on the field, but it looks like Canada is in second place, just ahead of Mexico. Also a strong crew, had a good showing this morning.
It's important to be top 3 in this race, but here come our Canadians. They had a bit of a lag in the heat. They want to send a message, more important to themselves, knowing they've got the confidence to get into that final and pull off an upset.
I think the Canadians will be able to make it through. To be clear, 1 to 3 advance to the A final. At the 500 meters, it is France in first by a half boat over the Canadians, who have about a quarter boat over lane 5, Poland in the middle of the screen with the red and white boat and the white tops. But the Canadians at the bottom of your screen now, and the red boat with the white tops, are moving very well, as are the French team in the blue boat in the middle. See the French, look at how smooth their boat is, almost no rocking back and forth. And if you think about how much effort they're putting into each one of those strokes and how connected they have to be for that boat not to move, it's just astounding.
And Canada's got to make their move now because you've got a lot of speed coming to your left. And here we've got the 4 boys in a row, and you've got great synchronicity amongst their paddles. And look at their legs really moving.
I like how smooth and the Canadian boat is now. It's barely rocking back and forth. Shows a lot of control. They have to fight. They have to come in top 3. Right now it is a 4-boat race. Mexico at the top of the screen is challenging, but it looks like France is still ahead. Poland has picked it up a bit through the 1/4 mark. It is still France. Approaching the 200-meter mark, it is France and Poland neck and neck, and Canada as well. If the boys can finish here, they can win this semifinal. That would be amazing and a real confidence booster for them.
And a great race plan by the Canadians. They've saved a bit of gas in the tank because they know they're going to need it for the finishing sprint. Here we go. Bring it home, boys.
Looks like Canada might take this. Look at the front-on shot of these 3 boats. Look at their paddles. It's so amazing how in sync these guys are. Their muscles are screaming at them to stop, and they're keeping it going. It is a 3-boat race right now. France is still just a little bit ahead, but Poland is challenging, and Canada is right there. This is an awesome race, but it looks like France right now, with about 10 meters left, it is France is first, Poland second, and Canada third. Those 3 boats advance on to the A final. I'm sure our Canadians are going to be happy with that. A brilliant race. For semifinal 1 of the under-23 men's K4 1,000 meters. France first, 3:11.9. That is a long 1,000 for these boys. That wind is blowing for them, making it a challenge, but that's all part and parcel of the game. Poland second, less than a half second behind, and Canada right there, right in the mix. That's where they want to be.